teams, Fareham Town and Gosport Borough.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Gosport Radio, where today we've got a classic derby. It's Gosport Borough versus Fareham Town. Gosport in their yellow and blue tonight and Fareham in their all red. It is chucking it down here at the AEI Stadium, but I'm sure it's going to be a fiery affair. Today alongside me I've got Jeremy Fox, the club president to my right, and left of me I've got Matt Williams, who's going to be analysing our opponents tonight. Jezza, I'll start with you. I mean, this one is for the history books.
Absolutely. Good evening, James. Good evening, listeners. Yeah, it's always one that really whets my appetite because when I was growing up, Fareham and Gosport was the derby at this club. It was the only derby. Since then, derby's sort of a bit more of a generic term, but this truly is what it's about. Just 3.5 miles separate the grounds of the Clove lies. A history going back since 1952. Generation after generation been brought up on it. It's really good.
Well, I'll run you through both sets of teams, starting with the visitors. There's been a lot of changes from the last league game. In goal, Lloyd Thomas. 2, Ethan Quinlan. 3, Cam Sullivan. 4, Torrey Williams. 5, and their skipper, Ash Tattersall. 6, Ollie Kershaw. 7, Charlie Cooper. 8, Charlie Cole. 9, Jamie Arnold. 10, Elliot Holmes, and 11, Matt Pates. As for Gosport Borough, it's a new goalkeeper, Brad Snelling, starting in goal. 4, Finley Walsh-Smith. 7, Bradley Tarbuck. 8, Adam Tommaso. 9, Dan Wooden, and that's our skipper tonight. It's a debut for Joe Ostler after he signed from AFC Tottenham. 17, Trevor Caborn. 20, Michael Fernandez. 21, Ben Greenwood. 24, Harry Kavanagh, and 25, Ethan Taylor. Matt, we said it before the game, a lot of changes for Fareham. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, hello everyone. I hope you're keeping warm and dry in this awful weather. And yeah, there have been a lot of changes for Fareham. I had my notes starting up for this game, and I almost had to change every single player. It is a surprise. This is a big game for Fareham, a huge rivalry between the two clubs. So we're expecting a fiery one tonight in these awful conditions.
Well, we are underway here at the AEI Stadium. It was Fareham kicking us off, and already Quinlan nearly losing possession to Michael Fernandez. Gosport overturning possession on the near side. Gosport appealing for a foul. Instead, it goes out for a throw-in, a Fareham throw-in, that is. Looks like it's going to be Quinlan going over to take it. But Jeremy, Gosport, on the other hand, a strong lineup tonight.
I think it had to be because if you bear in mind the game at Tiverton got called off at the weekend, I didn't think it would go ahead, their pitch being the worst in the league by a mile. And I'm not being derogatory, it's just a fact that they would not want to go into a crucial game against Dorchester this coming weekend cold without having played for 2 weeks. That's not good. So why not?
Gosport on the attack down the centre. Trevor Caborn skipping past his man, now left of the 18-yard box. He's got Michael Fernandez behind him. Goes for Michael Fernandez. Fernandez with a left-footed cross finds Ethan Taylor, and Gosport open the scoring within the first minute of the game. It's Ethan Taylor on the end of the cross who is there to glance it in just outside the 60-yard box. Cool as you like for Ethan Taylor, and Gosport 1-0 up already. And it was quick feet from Trevor Caborn there, allowing him to pull his cross back. Gosport couldn't have started much better there, Matt.
You know, James, I almost think that was too easy.
And the only goal of the game goes Gosport after 2 minutes. Scorer number 25, Ethan Taylor.
Fareham almost let that happen so easily. They just switched off as soon as Gosport got the ball and let Gosport dance right through them.
What you need.
It was a really accurate cross, like a pinpoint.
It was, yeah.
Right onto his head, straight into the corner. Brilliant goal. Well worked by us.
Oh, Jeremy, you couldn't have asked for a better start, could you there?
One word, no. It's great. It'll settle the nerves if there were any. They still look like a little unsettled at the other end though, because this is what we're going to be watching now with the arrival of Joe Ostler. Is Gosport's defence boosted by his experience.
And now Gosport down the attack, down the near side. Michael Fernandez having his perch short pulled, but he's still coming forward. He goes down inside the penalty box. The referee doesn't give anything there, Jeremy.
A little bit theatrical for me. He knew what he was up to, Fernandez. But yeah, I think, again, though, he's showing what he can bring to the table, his trickery, his speed when he literally gets the afterburners going. He should, if he's on his game, cause Fareham no end of trouble tonight, James.
And Matt, how did Fareham respond now to going down?
Well, they just need to focus. I mean, that sort of need to make sure they don't switch off. Twice they've done it, even the opening few minutes here. That could have been a penalty if the shove was a bit more forceful there. Like Jeremy said, it was theatrical, but again, that's 2 occasions in the opening few minutes where Gosport could be 2-0 up right now, and then 2-0 up in that first few minutes is almost game over straight away. So Fareham need to focus and not sort of give the ball away carelessly like they are here.
Gosport on the attack again. Michael Fernandez down the left. He's got Ben Greenwood on the overlap. Ben Greenwood pulling back a pass. It fouled Tattersall there, who hacks it over the Fareham crossbar and out for a Gosport corner. And already within the first 3 minutes of the game, it's been constant attack from Gosport, already resulting with a goal scored by Ethan Taylor. And now Gosport have a corner.
It's good to watch, James, playing with a lot of freedom and a lot of confidence. It's what you're looking for. Because derbies, it doesn't matter whether Fareham are a level below or a level above. Games like this, the conditions like this are a great leveler. So you've got to be on your game.
Well, what can Gosport do from this corner? They go short into Michael Fernandez, 25 yards out, back into Harry Kavanagh. Kavanagh plays it back into Michael Fernandez. Fernandez going with a deep cross, and it's a header there from Ethan Taylor, just swinging it just wide of the right post. Hoping to get his second, just not on target there, Matt, that one.
Yeah, when he was outside the box, I was wondering whether he was going to take a shot, and it really did look like that. And I just wondered whether maybe the wind took away the momentum of the ball here, but it's another really good chance from Gosport, and so early on as well.
Well, with Fareham's recent form, I'm sure you wouldn't have expected Gosport to open a scoring this early, but you could probably expect a dominant Gosport display tonight.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Fareham right now are bottom of their league, and their goal difference is about like minus 35. And I had a look on what more specifics about them, and if the table was based on away performances, they'd still be bottom. And if it was based on home performances, they'd be bottom as well. So it almost seemed like nothing's going well for Fareham at all.
It's not been the best season for them as well. But if you bear in mind that they can't play on their Cams Orders pitch, haven't played there for about a month, not likely to play there for at least another month if this keeps up. That obviously does anyone no favours. Horndine are in the same boat. That's why they played here last night. It just drains you, just brings the confidence out. So it comes down to character, how much they want to stay up. But I do wonder if it's a bridge too far for them now looking at the league table.
Well, certainly. And they will be looking to progress to the semi-finals of the Portsmouth Senior Cup, but they're already 1-0 down in this one through an Ethan Taylor goal scored on the first minute, but they're on the attack down the right-hand side. Cole with possession, doing well enough to win his side of throwing deep into the Gosport half. Now he's heading over to go and take this throw. Oh, no. Instead, he's going to leave it for Quinlan instead. Quinlan with the throw. And to be fair, lost possession. Tarbart now storming down the left-hand side into Michael Fernandez. Fernandez holding it up. He's got 3 Fareham bodies surrounding him. And a final touch there. Frank Quinlan knocking it out for a Gosport throw just by the Fareham dugout. Ben Greenwood, the ex-Farnborough man, taking it and throwing it straight into Adam Tommaso on the halfway line. If you're just tuning in to Gosport Radio, it is Gosport 1, Fareham 0. 6 minutes played of the EAI Stadium so far, and Bradley Tarbach has it on the halfway line into Dan Wooden, and Gosport once again effortlessly coming down the right-hand side into Trevor Cable and looking to pull a pass back. This one intercepted by Tattersall. And an experienced defender at this level, Matt Tattersall.
Yeah, he's an experienced defender, but again, when Gosport were on the attack, there was just so much space. If that sort of like cut back into the box was a little bit more accurate, then again, it's another goal. Fareham really need to focus up.
I just think to make the observation, I think the conditions out there are tougher than they appear from up here. It's all well and good being a 4G pitch, but it still holds a lot of water. And you can see how the ball's being held up by standing water out there.
Yeah.
So not easy. That wind is howling. I won't be out there tonight, I'll tell you.
No, I don't think
I would. No. All right, up here, thank you.
Well, if you're not here tonight at the AEI Stadium, do remember to check out our socials. We will be bringing out highlights from tonight's game. Hopefully, we'll have a few bits to post about. We do have our cameraman, Luke, braving it out on the pitch tonight. Like Jeremy said, not sure if I would have wanted to be out there tonight. It's Gosport coming down the right-hand side, though, with Trevor Cable and into Ethan Taylor, just inside the Fareham half. Ben Greenwood down the left-hand side into Michael Fernandez, just around the halfway line area. And Joe Ostler on the ball at the moment, a new Gosport face. Yes, so much experience to his name, Jeremy.
Yes, it's his second coming at Gosport, and he's been at the highest level with teams like Aldershot, Queen's Park Rangers, no less.
Yeah.
Vastly experienced, signed us last week from AFC Tottenham, where he's been playing in the league above. He's a Portsmouth boy, so a little closer to home for him, probably less travelling as well, so why not? And after recent defensive frailties for Gosport, we needed that kind of signing because the last few games have shown a lot of worrying trends for me at the back, and that's the person you need to bring and shore it up.
Well, there's been a few times where we've had a few mistakes in this side, with it being quite a young team. Do you think he'll help iron out those mistakes?
I think it'll bring an experienced, calm head and a lot of know-how and a lot of dark arts as well, of course. That's the sort of player that Joe is. And it would be even better still when Joe Morrison comes back from injury. I would partner those two straight away in central defence and really just lock it down, because you know that Joe Mo himself is a brilliant player and is so committed and gives it 100% every match. So can you imagine those two in the central defence together? That's something to get excited about, actually. And there's no slight on Finn, because he's excellent for a player of his age, and he plays with a maturity beyond his years. And Charlie has been there and done it. So if you can imagine, you've got 4 central defenders then that can really produce the goods when they're on the game.
Well, it was Tattersall there on the halfway line, looking to chip a ball over the Gosport back line, but Gosport just holding it out, easily overturning possession in the end. And now Kavanagh, the ex-Pompey man, storming down the right-hand side. He's got Trevor Caborn in front of him, who got the first assist in this game. And he's done well to actually keep hold of possession down the right-hand side. But a poor pass back in the end. It looked like the pitch just held it up a little too long there. And now Fareham allowed to be countered down the left-hand side, put on the track so by Harry Kavanagh on the far side. And you can see the pitch really starting to have an impact now, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get worse. I think we saw this in the very first game played on it when we go back to August and the 3-3 draw with Fareham. And it was very, very wet that night as well. And you saw even then, I think, when it maybe can't cope with the level of rain that a 4G pitch should. I don't want to be ultra critical because it's been amazing to have it, but it's questionable in these conditions for me.
Fareham with a good counter attack down the right-hand side, but I think that was the curse of the commentator there, as Joe Ostler was there just to tidy it up for Gosport, putting it out of play and out for a Fareham throw just by the Gosport dugouts. Glenn Howes and Mark Summerhill, both with their hoods on, understandably why, with it chucking it down out there for anyone just tuning in. And 10 minutes have been played on the clock. It is Gosport 1, Fareham 0. Ethan Taylor with the opening goal in this one.
It'd be good to see. It'd be good for him actually, because he hasn't actually netted for quite a while. So it'd be good for his confidence.
Trevor Caborn striding down the right-hand side. He's got options in front of him. And now he's looking to get past, I think that was Sullivan there on the far side. He managed to overturn possession just by the left corner flag. But Caborn looking to stick out a leg. Did get a touch on it, but in doing so turned it out for a Fareham thrown on the far side. Still by the left corner flag area. And it's thrown into Cole. And he's dispossessed, but in doing so has won his side of throw after Ethan Taylor just a little bit too hard in front of him there, pushing him to the floor.
He's Fareham's top goal scorer so far this season, Cole. Sorry, Cooper.
Well, certainly someone to look out for. And Fareham there on the attack down the right-hand side. It was Quinlan who managed to thread a ball there. Speaking of Cooper, wasn't it a great first touch?
Yeah, I think for Fareham, they need to try and get him into the game a bit more. He's got 8 goals for them so far this season, which is the most out of any Fareham player.
Well, Fareham do have a thrown on the near side, and it looked to pick out Cooper. But Michael Fernandez, once again, tracking back, doing his defensive duties, keeping it in on the byline.
Yeah.
And there was a duel there between Pates and Fernandez.
Did his job. Touch on the theatrical side again, but who cares? He did his job. Made sure it went out for the goal kick.
Now Finley Walsh-Smith, taking it from his own box and looking to thread the ball forward. Picks out Trevor Caborn on the halfway line, who goes back into Finn Walsh-Smith. And now Joe Ostler. Back into Finn Walsh-Smith. Walsh-Smith looks up. He's got Adam Tomasa to his left. But instead, the young defender goes alone. and passes it into the more experienced Joe Osler, who just nonchalantly rolls it across into Brad Tarbach. And Tarbach, a hero on the weekend, Jeremy. Not this weekend. Last
Yeah,
game.
absolutely. Just not only did he just come back from injury, but within minutes he scored a crucial goal. But that was a great game, wasn't it? The last game here nearly 2 weeks ago, an absolute thriller.
Yeah.
But Tarbach is a player you really can't afford to be without. He's another talisman along with Dan Wooden for me. A team without Tarbach in it is not as good as a team within in it.
Michael Fernandez doing well to keep it in on the left touchline, dueling against Quinlan with the ball. Quinlan victorious in that duel, but Adam Tommaso looking to charge it down, smashing it into a red shirt, with it ricocheting back into Gosport possession. Joe Osler going back into goalkeeper Brad Snelling, who's in the starting lineup tonight. A new face.
Yes, he's done the rounds locally. He's been at places like Porchester, Moneyfield, Petersfield. He's a local lad, I believe, but yeah, he's done the local rounds. An experienced goalkeeper. The rules of the competition are that you can't play lone players.
Is that okay?
So that is why Blackledge is not here. It's archaic rules actually. It's even worse with the Hampshire Senior Cup. I could go on all night, but frankly, I'll bore you. But the crux of it is, if you've got a bona fide registered player for you, he can play. If he's not, he can't.
And that's why he's in the starting lineup tonight. Hasn't been put to work yet as Gosport still leading by a goal to nil. Gosport looking to come down the left-hand side. Tommaso chipping a ball forward. Fortunately, the cross couldn't find Michael Fernandez and instead running out of play. And a Fareham fan, very loud near us in the press box.
They're a vocal bunch, actually, because there's been a sort of a tight-knit group of supporters that have followed them home and away for years, James. And I was actually thinking, are they here? Yes, they're here. How could they miss this?
That's not much of a drive, is it? Literally.
No.
10 minutes?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes from ground to ground.
Oh, Dan Wooden outside the 18-yard box, finding a free ball into Harry Kavanagh. Now coming down the right-hand side, runs straight into Sullivan. Perhaps not the right decision making there from Harry Kavanagh, trying to take on his man, Matt.
No, probably not. I was just thinking about the way Fareham have responded so far. I've noticed that their wingers have sort of come back to sort of help the fullbacks defend when Gosport's got the ball. See Cooper here on the left is sort of coming back here to help mark the players. Do you think that they've responded well, or do you think they've been quiet?
To be fair, I think they look well structured off the ball, but haven't really looked that provocative. I thought there would have been a more response to going down.
Yeah,
yet to really see that.
Give it time. The game's young still. They're only 15 minutes in.
I think it's important to remember they're still a league below as well. So
yeah.
Gosport on their tag. It's Michael Fernandez through on goal. Denied by Thomas, and then the follow-up by Caborn, also blocked out for a corner. And that was definitely a chance there for Gosport to double their lead.
Certainly was. But I'm just going to say to you, we've seen how many times we've seen topsy-turvy games at this ground this season, James, where Gosport start stronger and then the opponents feel their way in and then they end up causing Gosport no end of headaches. League below doesn't matter. This is a cup tie. Local pride on the line means nothing.
It's that complacency we've always talked about, Jeremy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely right. You cannot let that fester.
Well, let's hope Gosport can double the lead on the far side with this corner. Michael Fernandez running towards the corner taker, but instead it's a bit of an in-swinger, and it found Trevor Caborn at the back stick. It was more of a nudge towards the ball rather than a clear-cut shot, allowing Thomas to easily gather it before bowling it out onto the far side.
I just wonder if Arnold could have found Cooper or Pates or Holmes there. But it was a difficult touch there.
Well, like we said at the start of this broadcast, a number of changes to the Fareham side. But Matt, like we've alluded to a few times already, they've still got some star players inside their lineup. Charlie Cooper, obviously being their talisman this season. Even in defence, to be fair, still got some strong players.
Yeah, but it's still a strong Fareham team. In my pre-match sort of research, I anticipated Sibley to be starting, and he's actually on the bench, which surprised me. I had to take him out of my notes, but this is still a good team for Fareham, and they're on the attack here again.
Indeed they are, and it's Pates coming down, and he does a great through ball into Cooper, the man we were just talking about. Cooper looking to pull it back, well intercepted by Osler before he gets rid of the danger, going into Michael Fernandez midway inside the Gosport half. Well read there by Joe Osler, and that's exactly what you get from him.
That's why we signed him. He just needs to bring that know-how that we know he has and the experience to the table. And he did it there, read it beautifully, dealt with it beautifully. That's what we signed him for.
Finley Will-Smith chipping the ball over the Fareham back line, and it's headed back there by Quinlan. It's a little bit of a risky header back because Michael Fernandez on the near side was chasing it down. Thomas was forced to come out of his own box to clear it away. Little kamikaze there from the right back, Matt.
Yeah, well, that was almost a disaster. Thomas, I think, definitely made the right decision charging out there. And Mario Fernandez is quite a fast player.
He's right. It
So-
did go.
It went over the utility.
So it needs to go.
He's done well to beat Fernandez in a foot race.
Well, the referee initially awarding Gosport a throw-in, but he's overturned it for a Fareham one.
I think his issue was that Gosport weren't taking it from the right place,
Yeah,
and they
right.
weren't willing to do as they were told. So he's reversed it.
Well, either way, Fareham with the throw-in now.
Don't get why they didn't comply with that one.
Well, no.
And now they're actually on their counter through pace, who look to be menacingly coming forward, while caught in these tracks once again by Gosport, who seem to be playing a much higher line tonight. And I suppose you can afford to do that when you're playing a team not really that threatening, but you can't when you give the ball away like that. As Arnold now coming forward after nicking the ball back for Fareham, still coming forward, might be through on goal. It was a sliding challenge there from Joe Osler, doing just enough to turn it out for a corner. Arnold, though, it was almost like he had glued the ball to his boot.
He was charging forward there, James, let me tell you. It almost feels like Gosport had to scramble to sort of nick the ball back.
Well, you needed the inception there, didn't you, Matt?
They
from Osler?
really did. They really did. I can't quite see that he's taken the corner from him.
What do you expect from this corner, Matt?
I think I could in swing at him.
Well, the corner has come in, and it is an in-swinger towards the back post, headed away there by Adam Tommaso, the last man back for Gosport. Cole into Williams. Before eventually the referee gives a foul, Fairham's way. Fortunately, he had the pillar in the way for that one, so can't really tell you too much of what happened there. Good, Matt? See it any better?
No.
Jeremy?
Just a foul, move on. Nothing else to say.
See, this is interesting. I thought Fareham would have taken like a massive free kick set piece there, but they've just played it short and continued on.
I think it's their philosophy, Matt, isn't it? They do like to a build up like this, but it has impact. That's a foul straight there, and you've got away with it.
Williams clipping it towards the left of the 18-yard box. A Fareham man on the ball at the moment, left of the 6-yard box. Attempted to cross it in. The last touch coming off of Brad Tarbuck and out for another Fareham corner.
Yeah, they're having their little spell in the sun at the moment, aren't they, so to speak?
Well, they've gone short into pace, left of the 18-yard box. He looks up, gets his cross across. It falls in the 6-yard area. And in the end, Snelling has to come out, collect it. Got down low there just to gather it.
They're having a good spell, Fareham, and this is what I mean. Games like this, league positions are a total irrelevance because Fareham have threatened 2, 3, 4 times now.
Well, to be fair, they've looked pretty menacing on the counter, Matt.
They have looked pretty menacing. Their forward line, I've been paying attention to the way they set up. And I mentioned earlier about how their wingers are coming back, but they're using their wingers quite intelligently because just sort of their positioning, and they always seem to be in the right place to defend and attack.
Well, look at how they're going about their pressing.
Oh, that was close.
Nearly forcing a mistake there from Snelling with the charge down.
That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, it would have been.
That would have been.
Let's go on back to Tattersall, the Fareham skipper tonight. Tarbuck looking to charge him down, but Tattersall gets his pass across into Kershaw down the left-hand side. Kershaw looking to find pace. Can he find him? No, he can't. Finley Will-Smith there, tracking back, getting the ball back for Gosport. Tarbuck swiping right into Trevor Caborn. And the ball just taking the deflection, allowing Fareham to quite comfortably overturn it. Thomas inside his own goal. And 22 minutes now played on the clock. You're listening to Gosport Radio, and it is Gosport leading by 1-0. Ethan Taylor with the opener. Scored in the first minute after a great cross from Trevor Caborn. Gosport have had a few more chances. Michael Fernandez coming close, having his shot denied by Thomas, and also Fareham having a few good counters. Arnold through on goal, but denied by a good Joe Osler challenge. It's not been a bad start to this game at all, Jeremy.
It's been good, and it's the cup tie I hoped it would be. We weren't sure, none of us were, how much the conditions are going to impact it. And although the pitch is holding water, both teams are going for it. Fareham at the moment really going for it, and it's been actually entertaining, good to watch.
Ball clipped over the Fareham back line, and it just narrowly flies over the head of Michael Fernandez. Fernandez with his head in his hands after not getting on the end of that. And I think there might be a few Premier League games, and someone who's not here tonight, Connor, a big Arsenal fan, would be very happy with the current score as Arsenal, away to Wolverhampton, have taken the lead. Bukayo Saka on 5 minutes for the Gunners. Try and get you some of the scores from the Premier League during this broadcast.
That's the only Premier League fixture on, but there are some Champions League fixtures on.
Well, looking at some of the Champions League ones, that's a surprising one. Horribag. Oh no, I thought that was them leading by a goal to nil, but instead, they're 6-1
Gordon scored 4 goals in
Wow.
the league.
Hello.
A danger averted for Fareham. Thomas gathering it. And then the other Champions League scores: Bodo Glimt 0, Inter Milan 0, Club Brugge 0, Atletico Madrid 0, and Olympiacos 0, by Leverkusen 0. Back to the game here at the AI Stadium. Gosport leading by a goal to nil. Tarbach fighting for the ball on the halfway line. Back into Harry Kavanagh. Now Trevor Caborn doing well to feed it into Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden 1-2 backs it into Trevor Caborn. Now going left into Michael Fernandez. Left of the 18-yard box. A few step overs. Goes for a low driven cross straight into Tattersail. Adam Tommaso, though, ambitiously lining up a shot from outside the box on the half volley, blasted straight into Tattersail. Now, down the other end of the pitch, Arnold was chasing down a loose ball. Keeper Brad Snellen had to come out of his box once again to get rid of it.
You know, James, that was so dangerous. I really thought that was going to go between the legs of Tattersail.
Well, could have. It was ambitious from Adam Tommaso. Wasn't in the squad against Hanwell, so back in tonight. And I suppose that is a good thing with Portsmouth Senior Cup. Gives those who don't normally get minutes a chance to try and get their stake back in the squad.
Yeah, I think rotation's important. You've got to try and keep as fit a squad and as sharp a squad as you can. Like I said, you've got to send that squad into the Dorchester game on Saturday on form and in confidence, James.
Michael Fernandez getting onto the end of Ben Greenwood's long ball over the Fareham back line before Fernandez goes back into Greenwood. Gosport midway inside the Fareham half before Bradley Tarbach just skipping past a number of red shirts, taking it to the left-hand side of the 18-yard box before pulling the pass back into Michael Fernandez. Ethan Taylor drops inside of his man. A little bit of a heavy touch there, allowing for Thomas to get it, bowling it straight into Pates on the far side.
You've got to give Tattershaw credit there. That was good defending there. He sort of blocked Taylor off. Brilliant bit of obstruction for me, showing his experience there.
But it looks like Ethan Taylor's enjoying himself out there tonight, which is a good sign.
The goal will have settled him because he's gone a long time without scoring one, so that will have settled him and put a smile back on his face.
Fareham coming down the right-hand side through Holmes. He's got Quinlan to the right of him, but instead goes for Cooper. And Cooper passes back into Arnold, midway inside the Gosport half. Kershaw on the far side. His pass is intercepted by Harry Kavanagh. Knocks it out of play on the far side, out for a Fareham throw.
I'd like to just bring up some of the head-to-head, most recent head-to-head games between these two teams. Now, in 2023, it was a 0-0 draw, and then Fareham won 4-3 on penalties for the West League trophy. And in 2022, it was Gosport 3, Fareham 0, and that was a pre-season friendly. But what made that game so special was 5 first-half red cards.
Yeah, I remember both of those. The pre-season friendly was nasty. It got very nasty. Which is why we haven't actually played Fareham in a friendly sense. But
Wasn't very friendly then.
no, it really wasn't. It sort of defied the term. But yeah, the Portsmouth Senior Cup quarter-finals when Mark Molesley was in charge, and we had a very changed sort of team out, and it was a very flat performance. Should have been 3-0 up inside 15 minutes, and didn't take our chances. Fareham just dogged, worked hard, took us to the penalty shootout and beat us on penalties. So absolutely no complaints, but it did hurt like hell, I can tell you. And the next day I had to go back to Cam's orders to pick up my stepdaughter because she was volunteering at the Rainbow Centre. And I'm thinking, do I really need to be back here less than 24 hours later? I don't want to be here.
Really rubbing it.
It was quite painful, yeah.
All right, here's a question for you. What's been your most memorable Gosport Fareham game?
Here we go. 3-3, 1999. Right, I was only about 20, 21. We had 4 off, 7 booked, 3 injured, fans fighting, managers sent off, 1 in hospital. Went from there.
In hospital.
Referee lost control of it, and I said to the ref before, I said, "You do realise this is a derby?" Because he was saying, "Yeah, I'll be okay." And I said, "Look, I don't think you understand. This is going to be a really fiery game." He said, "Oh, it'll be all right." And then, of course, we had the game. And afterwards, he came out as white as a sheet. And I just said, "Well, I told you." Matt's questioning, it was a player called Paul Reed. Collapsed. He went for a header with Jason Mann, who, of course, now manager at Fleetwood. Yeah. He came down and landed on his neck, and he couldn't move. So, obviously, Hasler was still open in those days. So, he was blue lighted there. Yeah, and it was a couple of days before he could actually move.
Oh, wow. Speaking about good challenges, Joe Ostler in on Arnold, and it was a clean challenge, actually, scissoring it and winning the ball back for Gosport there. As Jeremy said, that is a proper derby day there.
It was, and we came back from 3-2 down to draw 3-3 in about 98th minute. And in those days, 8 minutes of stoppage time was unheard of.
Yeah.
Now it's the norm, but back in those days, it was absolutely unheard of.
Well, let's just hope this game's half the entertainment as Trevor Caborn, looking to skip past the Fareham back line, takes it to the Fareham byline before eventually winning his side the corner. The last touch coming off of Williams there, tackling it out of play. Now Michael Fernandez heading over to take this corner. And Jeremy, something I have noticed, Ben Greenwood hasn't been on any of these set pieces.
Interesting, isn't it? Because he is their set piece specialist. Perhaps they're just using tonight to try some different sort of players and different tactics.
Oh, Tarbach lining up a shot from distance, and it ricochets off the post. 25 yards out, though. It certainly had the power behind it. Thomas was speeding. The post denies Tarbach, though.
I'll tell you what, you don't hear much through this glass in here, but I had the whack and it hit the upright there. That was some strike, and that was very, very unlucky.
He really does like a crack from range, doesn't he, Tarbach?
And he's very capable of it. If you go back a few seasons when he scored against Salisbury in that manner, that was, I think that was his best goal for us, and it was very similar to that.
I'll just talk us through the play here, Jeremy.
Yeah, sure. So Gosport have a corner from the left-hand side. I can't quite see, can't crane my neck enough to see who's on it. But it's going to be, with this weather, I think it'll be an interesting swing. Gosport have got 3, maybe 4 in the box. Here it comes towards that far post. The keeper gets good hands on it. Well held there from Thomas. Well punched from Thomas. Gosport still just holding possession. They've just played a ball to the edge of the 6-yard box. Not the best. Gosport tried to clear through Tattershaw, and he's fouled there. I think that was Fernandez that fouled him. So the referee quite right to give a free kick. The free kick not taken particularly well. Fernandez has immediately intercepted it. Back to you.
Now Fareham looking to come down the right-hand side. I think that's a piece on the ball being chased down by Bradley Tarbach, who just had that vicious shot a moment ago. Came so close to doubling Gosport's lead there. But Fareham might be able to get a goal back for themselves here. Arnold back into goal on the halfway line. And just for a moment there, they looked pretty promising, but just Curse playing it back there when in a good position, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gosport's press was actually pretty good.
72 to 65.
This is what I said.
But like you both alluded to earlier, when Fareham can get going, they can look pretty good. And I just sort of wonder if Gosport's complacency can really sort of play a part here.
Well, Tatsu into Holmes on the near side. His pass is intercepted by Ben Greenwood. Sliding challenge them and knocking it out for and thrown on the near side.
Gosport 1, Fareham 0, 32 minutes on the clock here at the very, very wet and windy and cold AEI, James.
Oh, it's even freezing in the press box, let alone for the poor fans outside tonight.
They're all huddled in under cover, aren't they? There's no one stood out in the open unless they're absolutely insane. But yeah, people are just sheltered under any cover they can find.
Michael Fernandez doing well to get on to the end of a high ball there from Snelling. Looking like it was going to go out with play. Fernandez doing well there to keep it in. Now it's just gone out of play for a Fareham throwing this one on the near side. Deep into the Gosport half. Quinlan heading over to go and take it. He's got Cooper to the right of him. Also Cole running in front of him. So Quinlan, many options for this throw-in. And it looks like he's going to try and pick out Cole, but it's been hooked away by Tarbot before going back into Fareham possession and out for another throw on the near side. This one, though, out for Gosport thrown by the looks of it.
Doesn't help when you've got Rory Williams stood in your
No,
way.
it doesn't.
Rory, sit down.
Should be on the pitch tonight instead, shouldn't he? Oh, and a careless pass across the 18-yard box there. Nearly capitalised on by Pace.
This is what I mean. Gosport are still very, very...
A bit too nonchalant.
Too nonchalant, too relaxed in defence. They cannot afford to be.
I suppose it goes back to that word, though, complacency.
Yeah.
Can't afford to do it.
Can't do it.
Finley Walsh-Smith on the halfway line into Ethan Taylor inside the centre circle. Taylor just brushing off his man before feeding it into Michael Fernandez. Fernandez looking to return the pass. Unfortunately, he couldn't connect with the run of Ethan Taylor. A little bit too much power there behind the pass. Now Williams. Passing a left-footed pass across into Sullivan. And now Pates on the halfway line. His pass is intercepted. Now Bradley Tarbuck with a bit of space down the right-hand side. He takes it past Pates. Brushing him off really easily there. Going for a cross. It picks out Dan Wooden. And he completely misses his shot. Tarbuck with a cross in. It hit the foot of Dan Wooden. Just couldn't get the shot there.
He'll be disappointed with that because Dan is hungry to score as many goals as he can. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Well, Ben Greenwood looking to pull pass back from the left of the 18-yard box. Well read, though, by Fareham, this one. And now they're looking to take it up the other end of the pitch. Arnold heading it over Joe Osler. But Joe Osler just holding off the Fareham striker. A few calls there from Fareham fans on the referee.
They were both at it.
Very much so.
So that could have been given either way.
Dan Wooden. Going back into Harry Kavanagh. Now Bradley Tarbuck outside the centre circle. Finn Walsh-Smith. Goes left into Joe Osler with his green boots. Can't really miss him tonight. Also helps that he's a giant in defence, Joe Osler. If you do check out the Gosport social media channels, we will be chatting with him at the end of the game tonight.
Take you for losses.
Now Kayboard, 25 yards away from the Fareham goal, escaping past his man, cutting inside, going into Michael Fernandez, who shrugs off his man, lining up a shot. Oh! Back of the net. Michael Fernandez,
36.
one look at goal before rocketing a shot past Thomas. Nonchalant from the Gosport number 20. Made that look easy, but trust me, that is no simple finish. Michael Fernandez doubles Gosport's lead, I must say, in excellent fashion. Matt, take it over.
James, that was a tremendous shot.
Goal for Gosport.
Scores
In the 36th minute, the scorer, number 20, Michael Fernandez.
Top corner. And I must say, there's loads of other Fernandezes we can see anywhere else, but I think he's the best Fernandez out there. Like, wow.
I wonder how long you've had that line stored up before, Matt.
What a while. I've been waiting for that one.
Well, you finally got to use it. And what a way to use it.
And what a way to use it. What a goal.
Oh,
what a player.
Jeremy, we certainly knew Michael Fernandez had that in his locker.
Yeah, goal of
I'm
the
not
season.
surprised by that.
Goal of the season contender right there for me. That had swerve, pace, keeper no chance. But look out for Fareham. They want to get straight back in it. And this is pain in the backside. Who got it?
Oh, Matt, talk us through that goal there.
Well, it's almost 11 confidence from FIFA. If Fareham got the ball around the right side, then there was a bit of passing around.
Goal for Fareham scored in the 38th minute. Scorer number 11.
I can't really see number 11, Matt Pates, sort of dinged it right into the bottom corner, Gospel's bottom right corner. It's complacency again. I think everyone on the Gospel side has just got sort of intense and thinking about that Fernandez goal, and then just sort of lost focus in the euphoria.
Yeah, I think Gosport switched right off there, didn't they? And almost immediately, it's back, game's back on again. And you've got to say that Fareham do deserve the goal.
They do.
They've looked good going forward. They've caused Gosport more than a few issues tonight. I think they deserve that. And Gosport have only themselves to blame. Completely asleep after scoring. And you're in that moment of euphoria, aren't you? You've scored. And you're always vulnerable straight after you've scored. And Fareham, credit to them. So we're at 2-1 now with 7 minutes.
And what a game we've got on our hands now.
Potentially.
Definitely the remainder of this first half.
Potentially. But for Gosport, what they don't want is to wind up losing this one tonight, because that's going to lead to some very, very uncomfortable conversations if Fareham do succeed in winning this. But anyway, we're talking ahead of time. We haven't even got to half time yet. However, Fareham have given themselves a foothold.
Well, just talk us through here the play, Jeremy. Like I said, a lot to tweet about with the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, you've got 2 goals in 2 minutes to sort out, haven't you? So Fareham just trying to work a move down the right flank. The ball played out towards Quinlan, but the move broke down, so that will be a throw for Gosport Forest, which been dropped back to Osler. Rory Williams still in our way when the ball goes into that area of the pitch. Might have to have a quiet word. Rory, sit down, please. Getting in our way.
On a microphone?
No, that would be a bit embarrassing. But at the moment, Gosport just playing it around their own sort of in their own final third, but inviting pressure as they do so. Back with Snelling now, who goes long, and I think the wind's going to take that out to the wide right. But Gosport should benefit from the throw in front of the Harry Mizzen stand, and they do. So Kavanagh takes it. It's played backwards. Gosport's going to recycle and go again. Here's Osler, who's deep inside his own territory, just nonchalantly and casually just plays the ball out of defence jumps.
Well, I'm loving all the action, but it's killing my fingers with how cold it is here at the AEI Stadium.
And you're in a press box with the heat side. Grateful.
Lucky we're not at Fareham. I'm not sure if Fareham have a press box actually.
They do. They do. It's a little bit smaller than this, but they haven't been able to play on their pitch for over a month.
Wow.
If this game had been at Fareham, I imagine it would have been played here anyway.
Oh, a ball lobbed from distance there from Snelling, runs out of play. Trevor Cable and the last man for Gosport chasing it down. But even with his speed, just couldn't keep it in, unfortunately, for Gosport. Well, Matt, we talked about how did Fareham respond. They didn't really respond to conceding the first goal, but they certainly responded to that second one.
They certainly
Do you think they've got confidence now after getting that in?
I think they do. I think they do. I think maybe they choose. Well, obviously, it'd be better to choose the right team after 1-0, but I think they might be able to learn that they can take advantage of Gosport's complacency with that second goal. After the second goal, sorry. And you can just sort of see with the way that they're carrying the ball, that their confidence was growing throughout the game leading up to that. I mean, I'm just looking at how confident they've won the ball back here. And the sort of intent to get it forward up here to Cooper.
Arnold just holding off his man, lifting to get it back into Cooper, who takes the throw in quickly. And now he's won it back after the ball yo-yo's back to him. Fortunately, he crosses the ball in, easily read there by Finney Wall-Smith, who knocks it out for a Fareham corner. And a chant from the Fareham fans starting to be sung around the AEI Stadium. I'm not sure if it's by fans or just fan.
No, there's a few of them out there. I would be surprised if there was no less than 10 of them out there, because, as I said, they're a tight-knit group down the years. They've supported their club home and away, quite vocal with it. Yeah, it's about 10, hardcore of 10, at least.
Still something, I suppose.
Yeah, fair enough on a night like this. Really test the devotion.
Fareham with the corner on the near side. Do those fans have something to cheer about? Headed away by Ben Greenwood, but falls back into Sullivan, right at the 18-yard box, who still goes forward before eventually slipping and kicking it into the side netting, Jeremy.
Yeah, but again, Fareham serving their intent, and they're moving the ball forward very quickly. And I'm finding that Gosport are trying to do too much when they're in possession. They're just trying to be too intricate, too, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just trying to be too casual. Don't. Fareham are just moving the ball forward quickly and with purpose. And I think if it wasn't for Osler being back there, then I think the scoreline might be slightly different now, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. But to be fair, it's not just reflective of this game. You could probably say the same about most of our league season as well.
Yeah, it's been very, very topsy-turvy. Very topsy-turvy. You know, the fact we're in sixth place and we've conceded 50-odd goals and lost 11. I think that says it all.
Well, that man we were just speaking about, Joe Ostler, on the ball at the moment, inside the centre circle, right-footed pass into Finn Wall-Smith, shrugging off Arnold before going back into Ostler inside his own half. The ex-Stags man, captained his side to promotion last season with AFC Tottenham. Wonder if he can do the same this season with Gosport. Guide them to promotion. There's Tarbar looking for an architectural free ball. Picks out Dan Woodin. And Dan Woodin goes into Trevor Caborn. Just didn't have the quality there behind the shot. The end product wasn't there. And a shot blasted over.
About 90 seconds of the first half left. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about, I think, during the break, certainly. Fareham, I think, had, on the whole, been the better side in the first 45, I think. Gosport have taken their chances. They're 2-1 up. But if you think about the quality of the attacking play and you talk about the number of chances, if you weigh it up one against the other, I would say that I think the Creeksiders are probably going to actually be quite happy.
There's a lot to be positive about going into this second interval if you're a Fareham fan.
Yes, there is. And they're certainly in this game.
Caborn pulling a pass back. Well read, though, by Tattersall. Hits it high in the air. Brought down by Kershaw, who goes long. Picks out Arnold inside the Gosport half. Finn Wall-Smith goes sliding in. Knocking it away from Arnold. But the referee, gives the free kick Fareham's way. 1 minute added on. Can Fareham get a late goal inside this first half? Cooper goes for a low-driven pass. It does well to pick out a Fareham man. Now Kershaw, edge of the box, lines up a shot. And it just glides over the Gosport crossbar.
1 minute added on, in case anybody didn't hear my announcement, to the rain-sodden stadium. But I think the players will be pleased to get back under the stand into the warmth of the dressing rooms and chance to take stock. It's actually been, for me, a pretty entertaining first 45 minutes. And I think Fareham, by getting the goal, have given themselves a real foothold in this game. And just imagine for the neutral if they can get an equaliser. As a Gosport fan, we don't want it, but
can Gosport get a third instead? Michael Fernandez finding Trevor Caborn. Well, he doesn't find Trevor Caborn. Instead, an onrushing Thomas grabs it just in time.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, I mean, if Gosport were to get another one and restore a 2-goal advantage, it's on a knife edge, isn't it?
Well, really could go any way, especially with the end of this first half. So much to play for in the second, definitely. Obviously, that spot in the semi-final of the Portsmouth Senior Cup, but more importantly, the bragging rights of this derby.
Yeah, I think it means a lot to both sets of fans. But looking at the other teams through, I think Portsmouth's youth side are through.
After beating Havant Waterlooville?
Yes, they did. I'm pretty sure, was it Porchester went through against Monies, or was it the other way around? I can't quite remember.
I can't remember that one.
No, I think it's been played. The other one was Petersfield.
I have Petersfield. I know they're in the quarters for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they've played their game yet.
And they're a club who's had some tough times just lately. They've gone through a lot of change in the last few weeks.
Adam Tommaso hacking it forward across into Harry Kavanagh, who's chasing it down on the far side. Gosport might just have one last attack, cross in, and Tattersall slides, but in the end bundles it across for his Fareham teammate, who goes long. And now Arnold on the far side, but the referee puts the whistle to his mouth and brings an end to the first half, with it finishing Gosport 2, Fareham 1. It was Ethan Taylor who opened the scoring in this game on the first minute. Trevor Caborn from the left-hand side doing well to pick out the Gosport striker, who was there to glance over his header at the front post to give Gosport the early lead. And then Gosport doubled that lead in 36 minutes. Michael Fernandez with an absolute beauty, 20 yards out, with a rocket that flew into the top corner, easily beating Thomas and giving Gosport that comfortable lead. Well, we thought it would have been comfortable, but Fareham get a goal a minute after that, and they get it through Matt Pates, I think that was. Yeah, Matt Pates. And then that's the conclusion of the first half. Like Jeremy said, lots to play for in the second half. We will be back for second half coverage, so make sure you're subscribed to the Gosport YouTube channel. We will be back on another stream, so we'll see you then.
Some of that kind of thing.